All right, all right, all right, all right. If you are watching this live stream back on the replay, take advantage of the chapters and skip ahead to the start of the show. I'm still setting up and giving people time to tune in. Woo. But guys, I got an awesome show for y'all tonight. And I already got stuff on the screen. I don't need to be there. So let's get this right. Oh, there we go. Woo. Guys, I got pizza waiting on me. I had a great weekend. We got this format worked out for the weekly recap live. So we got a lot of great weekly recap lives that's going to be coming to you. Because now I got a format that I'm happy with. And I think you guys are going to enjoy it as well. Very value packed. Now let me make sure I have our social stream ninja going. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend as well, if I haven't said that already. So nice I say it twice, if that's the case. Oh, where is it? What am I looking for? Okay, here, got it, social stream. Woo. All right, so we got that. Let's do a test chat to see if we can hear it. Yep. Got it. Delete message. Turn this up just a little. I can barely hear it. Do another one. Yep, that's a little better. All right. So we got that ready. Let me make sure I have the Thinkorswim platform pulled up. So, you know, of course, it's always something. So I get ready to do the show. I'm setting up everything and the computer say, hey, I need an update. I said, oh, gosh. So that cost me a couple of minutes, but what's up? What's up to everybody out there? Getting ready for this show, for this weekly recap. And the show is doing great because of you guys. It is growing. My watch time hours are going up. The engagement is going up. Man, I really appreciate you guys. To any new subscribers, welcome to the channel. Welcome. Appreciate you for tuning in. And if you're not subscribed, thank you for tuning in. Phone off. Can't wait. Oh, we gonna have a great show, but we gonna get it over with. You understand? We just gonna get this show over with. Man, I was so glad Friday was Friday when we got done with that live stream. I didn't know what to do, but that Saturday went past so fast I almost missed it. I had landscaping stuff to take care of, man. I had to cut the grass. It was hot as ever. Woo. But I got it done. So that's one less thing to worry about until it come back. And then it looked like it was about to rain on me. I was like, God, please don't let it rain on me. I'm out here cutting this grass. Please don't do this. All right, let me put this code in. And that didn't do anything. Okay. Oh, yeah. I know I'm gonna like these weekly recap lives because we don't have to go to no websites. We're not doing a whole bunch of technical analysis. It's so much easier doing these weekly recap lives than everything else we do. You'll see. You'll see. Oh, all right. All right. I think we're good. Let's put in, we'll get to that when we get to the script. All right, we can go ahead and get started, guys. Let me position this and we can go ahead and go. Got my shave in. I did that. Got my dinner. Woo, just got to get through this show. All right. So let's get it going. That is not what that's supposed to say. So let me double check and make sure that this is right. Yeah, I was about to say the wrong thing, but we fixed it. Caught that quick. All right. Welcome to Weekly Recap Live. I'm your host, Joseph Martin, and thank God it is Sunday, guys. It is Sunday, and tonight we are going to look at PayPal Holdings Incorporated, ticker PYPL, and International Business Machines Incorporated, ticker IBM, which were our biggest gainers and losers for the week in the S&P 500 index. We're going to review their sectors, industries, sub-industries, and the performance of their peers to look for opportunities in the market. But before we do that, let's do our roll call and check our stream poll. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, and put an FB for Facebook and an X for X. While you guys are filling up the stream, and here's the mission statement. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of their financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming live on weekdays. Wait a minute, guys. I was checking my audio, so I got distracted. You're like, what is he looking at? I was checking my audio to make sure it was right. All right, let's get this done again. And we are streaming Monday through Friday following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. All right, let's get to it. Let's go to PayPal Holdings Incorporated, ticker PYPL. So let's go to the charts. So we'll go here, take that down, and then go here because they were the gainer. Bam. All right, now we're gonna go up here to the symbol box. Let me make sure I got my little cursors and everything on. We're gonna go right up here when this act right. There we go. We're gonna go right up here to the symbol box, and we're gonna type in PYPL. There we go. So we got PayPal pulled up. It's a couple things we're going to go over just briefly. We're not doing a whole bunch of technical analysis on this, so we already did that throughout the week. So PayPal gained 17.2% on Wednesday, July 15th. I have a link for that video down in the description if you want to watch our analysis, okay? So they have a 52-week high of $79.50, a 52-week low of $38.46, and we are looking at a 1-year daily chart, okay? That's what we're looking at, and they closed this week at $56.56. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull up my notes, our notes. Let's pull up our notes. And we're going to break down what sector it's in and all of that. Give me 1 second. Like I said, we're working out the format. So this is the first time we're doing this, but we are going to get it together. We're going to get it together. Is this the one that has it? This says notes. Yes. Okay, this is it. So let me get this together and I'll bring it over so you guys can see it. Bam, bam, bam. All right. So bring this over on the screen. We have our biggest gainer there. We'll pull this back up. We don't even need all that space. That's taking up a lot of space, but we'll pull that back up when we need to get to it. So where we're going to go to get our information about PayPal, let's go up here to the Market Watch tab. And we're going to go to the Visualize tab. And we are looking for PayPal. Now, PayPal, let's do this another way. Right here, if we go to the Analyze tab, it tells us that PayPal, PYPL, is in the financials sector. So we're going to look in there and then we're going to put the information in our notes. So we go over here to the Market Watch tab and then we go to financials. So financials is right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull my notes up. And it's just an Excel spreadsheet. So right here, we got PayPal. We don't have their weekly percentage change. We're going to do that in a second. So they're in the financial sector, FI, bam, got it. Now we need to see what industry they're inside of. So take the notes down. Don't move it off the screen. Just minimize it. We're looking for PayPal. PayPal is right here. So the industry they're in is financial services. So let's go there and then pull the notes back up. Financial services. There we go. Financial services. And they are in the transaction and payment processing services sub industry. So let's put that in our notes as well. Transaction. There we go. Bam. All right, so we got that, and we're going to put the weekly percentage change in later. So let's move on. Let's talk about the biggest loser for the week. So let's go there and take this down. And the loser, guys, let's go to the charts, was IBM. So let's put them in. IBM. Like I said, this is the first time we did this format. As I memorize it and we get it, this is going to be smooth, a little rough right now, but we going to get there. Just bear with me. Biggest loser for the week is IBM International Business Machines Corporation. All right. So ticker IBM, they lost 25.21% on Tuesday, July 14th. I have a link for that video down in the description if you want to watch our analysis on them. Now, they have we are looking at let's give you that first. A 1-year daily chart. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at a 1-year daily chart for IBM. They have a 52-week high of $332.46, and they have a 52-week low of $204.44. And they closed the week at $212.67. Okay, so we got that. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go to the heat map, and we're going to look for, we got to go to the Analyze tab. So we go to the Analyze tab and we see that IBM is in the information technology sector. So we're going to go to the heat map, look at the sector, look at the industry, and look at the sub-industry that IBM is in, and we're going to update that for our notes, okay? So let's go to the Market Watch tab. I'm going to go out of this and go back to the S&P 500. Information technology is right here. I'm blocking it. Take me off the screen for a second. Right here. So we are looking for IBM. IBM is over here. So they are in IT services. So let's pull up our notes and put this information in. So they are in the information technology sector, and they are in IT services industry. Okay, and then we need their sub-industry information. That looks like IT consulting and other services. That's their sub-industry. So let's put that in our notes. IT, consulting, other. Bam, we got it. All right, cool. Put me back on the screen. Now let's see where we are in this script. Let's see. All right, market research. Let's go here. This would be easier. Take that down. Go here. All right, market research. Now we're about to look at the Fear and Greed Index and the VIX Index to potentially find clues in the data about why these businesses, sectors, industries, and sub-industries performed the way they did. All right, so first we're going to start with the market sentiment. And first, let's look at the overall mood of the traders and investors in the market, while smart money and institutions are moving money and driving trends. So let's look at the Fear and Greed Index brought to us by CNN. All right, so let me pull that up over here on the websites. CNN Fear and Greed Index. Bam. All right, blow that up. All right, I pulled it up on the screen, and wouldn't you know it, that is in the corner where my picture goes. But anyway, let's figure it out. Here we go so you can see it. You see how I'm covering it based on how it is? So let me take me off the screen so we can go over this. All right, so here is the Fear and Greed Index brought to us by CNN Business. So this is telling us what the market was looking like on Friday. So right now it's in fear. And we can see that the range on this indicator is from 0 to 100. And right now we're in the fear. People are afraid. That's the idea of this. That's the sentiment and the mood of the market. Now, with this indicator, like I said, it's just telling us about today. So we can browse over how it was reacting throughout the week by going over to the timeline. I hope you saw what I clicked right here. Let me do this. This yellow might be hard to see on this white. So let me use a different color. Let's use green. Is that a little bit easier? Yeah, I think so. So we're going right here where it says timeline. Click that. And now we can browse over different dates for the week. So this is what I noticed earlier that was weird. I can be back on the screen while I talk about this. This is what I noticed about this that was weird. It skips over the 15th. I have no idea why I did that. So we got July 17th, 16th, and it's very hard for me to get 15th. I've been messing with it all morning, all day. I haven't been able to get it to show the 15th. But we got Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday as far as the numbers until it tells us where we were. So a couple of those days, it was in neutral. So luckily it tells you right there. That was last week. Fear. Let's pull it. Let me pull up this calendar to make sure I'm saying this right. Yeah, so all week it was on fear. The neutral right here is telling you what it was. So neutral was Friday of last week. But this week, starting with the 13th, fear on Tuesday. I told you it skips over Wednesday for some reason. Fear on Thursday and fear on Friday. And on Friday, it was the worst. So it came down even further. So there's fear in the market. So we got that. Now let's move on. We got that. So let's go here. Let's talk about market volatility. Next, let's look at the magnitude of swings in the prices and uncertainty in the market. So let's go to the VIX index brought to us by CBOE. All right, but we can go to this by looking at the Think or Swim chart. So we go here. Yeah. All right. So this actually has a ticker that we can use. So we go up to the charts, type in VIX. And this is the VIX. Now, something else I want to tell you about. I have labels on my charts that I use that has the VIX. So I'm going to take me off of it, off the screen. No matter what we're looking at, I have the VIX labels active on my charts down here at the bottom. So it's right down here. I hope that, see, we might need to change this color. Yeah, that's the color that I use. So right here. So we can see what the VIX price was on the close. So you can see that matches 1877. The previous close, so it's telling you the close of the previous day. The SMA. Now these labels turn red when the price is above, when the close is above both of these simple moving averages. So we have a simple moving average 9 and a simple moving average 200. And those are going to be days. So whenever the VIX is above both of those simple moving averages, both of the labels turn red. Another way for me to say that is anytime that it's above any one of those simple moving averages, the label will turn red. So for instance, the previous close, this one right here, the 1673, it was only above the 9-day simple moving average, but it was below the 200. So the 200 label would have been green. That's an example of what I'm talking about. So then on these labels, they also tell you what the high was. So you can see the 3530 up here. Long story short, I'm able to look at the VIX without having to go over to the VIX whenever I'm looking at a different company because of these labels. That's what I'm telling. Okay. Now we can see that since it's above the 9 and above the 200, I'm viewing this as uncertainty and volatility rising in the markets. The higher it gets, the more volatility is in the market and the more uncertainty is in the market. So they also call the VIX the fear gauge. And some people think that it's the fear gauge, that is greed and fear. It's not the greed and fear index. There's a whole different indicator for that, which I already showed you. The VIX measures uncertainty and it measures volatility. Its nickname is the fear gauge, but what it's measuring is if people don't know what's going to happen. If people don't know what's going to happen, that's where the uncertainty comes in, and that's where the volatility is. If people know that the market is going to come down, they're not uncertain about it. So it's possible for people not to be, for prices to be coming down and the fear gauge not actually be, oh, slow down. I know this a lot. Give me a second. What I'm saying is that it's possible for the markets to be coming down or be down, like we're in a bearish market, and the VIX not actually be high because people understand, hey, the markets is coming down. So they're not uncertain, and the market starts to calm down even though the market is trending down. But the fear and greed index, it doesn't work that way. If the market is extremely bearish, it's going to be fearful. If the market is extremely greedy, it's going to be bullish. So the VIX is more so about uncertainty and volatility. Okay, so we got that. Now we can move on. Let's move on. And remember, this thing will get smoother as we get this together. We're working out the format for the weekly recap live. So let's go here and let's talk about this. All right. Community support. Back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content, Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description as well as on the ticker on the screen. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and supporting the channel. I really appreciate you. Now, let's talk about the sector performance tracker. Time to follow the money. Let's look at each sector inside the S&P 500 index to see how it's performing by using the State Street Global Advisors ETFs. All right. So let's go back to the charts. We take that down. Bam, bam, bam. Got it. And we can take this. We'll do this. Got it. So right up here on my charts, we're going to go to sector performance. And last time we did this, it took a lot of time. We're not going to do that. I got a faster way for us to go through this. So we're going to look at how the last 5 days. So we're going to look at the week because we're doing a weekly recap, right? So we're going to look at how the SPY performed and each sector inside the S&P 500 performed this week. So right here it's saying 5 days. So it's averaging out the performance over the most recent 5 days in the market. So this would be Monday through Friday. All right. So the SPY closed down 1.5%. Energy is up 4.7%. Materials is down 0.7%. Industrials is down 1.4%. Consumer discretionary is down 1.5%. Consumer staples is up 1.3%. Healthcare is up 0.2%. Financials is up 1%. Information technology is down 5.5%. Communication services is down 0.9%. Utilities is down 0.5%. And real estate is up 2.2%. All right, so we went through that. Now let's talk about this. Now, here's our little secret weapon we're going to do. This makes it where we can do this a lot faster. We're going to look at the S&P 500 sector watch list. Okay. Now we're going to look at three more time frames: the 1 month, the 3 month, and the 6 month, to get a wider view of each sector's performance. Okay. By looking at the watch list. So let's go back to the charts. Bam. Go over to the market watch tab, quotes, and we're going to pull up personal State Street ETFs, and you can't see it. Now this is a personal watch list that I made, so you would have to see what they are and make it yourself. So here it is right here, State Street's ETFs. And what I have in there are these tickers right here. So you can create your own watch list and name it whatever you want, but mine is named State Street ETFs. And these are all the tickers that's inside of it. What up, though? I'm in Iowa. Hey, what's up, bro? Let me pull you up on the screen. Pull your chat up. Let me put me back on the screen. Take that down, pull up the chat. Brother is tuning. My brother is tuning in from Iowa. What up, though? 313 AKP. Appreciate you for tuning in, bro. Love you, man. I'm gonna get with you. All right, so let's see where we at. Put the chat down. Let's go here. All right. So as we're looking at this watch list, what we need to do here, we're gonna go over here to Money Tracker. All right. Now this is some columns that I made that's customized, but I'm gonna walk you through it. This is gonna make it easier for us to watch what's going on. And I want to double check this right quick. You see right here where it says information technology. Well, you can't see that say information. XLK is information technology. Okay. So I'm going to mark this so it'll be easier to see. So I marked the row. Now we can see in 1 week that's down 5.48%, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to go back to the charts and we're going to look for that label. So right here, it says that it's down 5.5%. The reason why it's saying 5 is because it rounded it up. So what we can do, I can go into my studies and I can change it to 2 decimal places. When I change it to 2, for sure, keep it going, bro. Appreciate you, brother. Let me pull that comment up so people can see it. Chat. For sure, keep it going, bro. Man, thank you for tuning in and hitting me with them comments. That's going to help out with the algorithm. All right, let's get back to the show. Here we go. All right. So we're going to change this to round set 2. Now, when I do that, now the labels will update. So you see now it's specific. You see where it says technology down 5.48%. Now, when we go over to Market Watch, it'll match down 5.8%. So now this is another way for us to look at all of those different time frames instead of going through that other tool. So there's more than one way to do stuff. This way is going to be more efficient because now we can just look here and we can see everything we need to see in one glance. It's like a grid versus over here, we would have to keep going at different time frames. So here is 1 month. This has XLK in it. Let's put RSP. This has 1 month. This is the 3 month. And then this is the 6 month. So we would have to go through each one this way, changing the chart to do that. And let's put the decimal back. I just wanted to let you see that we had the right data in there. So change that back to 1, apply. We go back to the watch list and here we go. So now, guys, I have this color coded. So the idea is this is the performance of whatever we looking at, this column. Let me do this. This column is going to be the performance of whatever we looking at for that week. This column is going to be for the, here we go. Give me a second. This column is going to be the percentage change for the most recent month. This column change is going to be for the most recent 3 months. This column is going to be the percentage change for the most recent 6 months. So the idea is we're trying to get data to follow the money. So if money is coming out of information technology, it's going to show up in the week before it show up in the month. It's going to show up in the month before it show up in the 3 months. And it's going to show up in the 3 months before it show up in the 6 months. So we want to find out if money's moving out of technology early. We don't want to find out 6 months from now. We might miss the move. That's the idea. So I can see that these labels are starting to turn red from the lowest time frame up to the higher time frame. So we're red. They lost 5% in 1 week. Guys, that's a lot. That's a lot for 1 week. And then if we look at what they're down on the month, they're only down 5.82% on the month. So that contributed to them already being down because we can see that what they lost this week added to them being down on the month. And then as the recent time frames start coming down, they're taking away from the gains that were out 3 months from now, 6 months from now. And then those are rolling off as time is moving forward. Okay, so that's how that works. I hope that makes sense. If you got any questions, just ask. So depending on what we're looking at and what's going on, this is how we're looking at the performance. Now, the two sectors I want us to focus on is financials and information technology. Now, information technology was the company that was the biggest loser. So that was IBM, right? So IBM was the biggest loser. They were in the information technology sector. So when we go here and we look at the information technology sector ETF, we can see that it's losing. It's down on the week, not just IBM, but we're seeing how that sector performing. IBM is down on the week. They down on the month. They're up 15%, 15.5% on 3 months. They up 21% on the 6 month. Now we're going to look at financials. So how is financials moving? So financials is right here. It's XLF. Let me highlight this row. Mark row. Go back to the charts and put in RSP. This is not important. I'll explain to you what's going on. So this is what's funny about this platform. If you select an actual row, it's going to show up on the charts, but it's going to be highlighted and then we couldn't see the colors. So if you mark it, then you know which level I'm looking at. So let me remove this. So if I unmark that, you see how it's still highlighted blue, but you can't see the green, you can't see the colors. That's what's going on. Now, anyway, let's focus on financials. When we look at financials, guys, we can see that the whole row is green. We see that they gained almost 1% just this week. They up 4% on the month. They up 8% on the 3 month. And they're up 3.9% on 6 month. What I'm looking for, or what I like about that sector, me personally, is that we can see that the money is slowly flowing into financials. It's not fast, but it's slowly flowing into it. As the more they have green weeks, the month percentage will get higher, and the 3 month percentage will get higher, and the 6 month percentage will get higher. But we're seeing it early. It would have showed up on the week before it showed up back here in the 6 months. I hope that makes sense. So as they pulling money out, it's going to show up in the week before it show up back here in the 6 months. And that's what we're seeing in information technology. Now, that doesn't mean that the 6 months is going to turn red. It's just that if money is flowing out, we want to see it as fast as possible. We want to see that early. Okay. So now that we narrowed that down and I explained all of that, now we can move on. So I want to talk to you guys about strategies and goals. So let me pull this up, take that down, put this here. And like I said, I'm working out the flow, but we gonna get it. We got the format. We just got to get this flow down because I got the Monday through Friday down. But this weekly recap, we working it out. All right. So now that we've looked at what's going on in the market, the sectors, the industries, and sub-industries, all of this means nothing. And I mean nothing if someone doesn't have a strategy and knows what their goals are. For example, if someone wants to buy and hold long term, what they see as an opportunity is going to be totally different from what someone who is swing trading or looking to profit from declines in the market would see. So we're not covering strategies and goals. I'm sharing how I do the work to look for opportunities that aligns with a strategy and goal. Okay, so we got that. Now, funds and companies. We found that the biggest gainer, PayPal, is in the financial sector in the S&P 500 index. One of the ETFs that tracks it is the XLF. Okay. So let's go back to the charts and I will break that down. Okay, right here. The ticker for financials is XLF. It's right here. XLF. You can see State Street, FIN, like it's short. They don't have financial spelled all the way out, but that's it. Okay. And let's see what else I got here. And one of them, okay, and then that's the other one. So, and the biggest loser was IBM. And they're in the information technology sector in the S&P 500. And one of the ETF that tracks it is the XLK. So the XLK is right here. And we can see State Street Tech Select. So they don't have information technology spelled all the way out. But those are the two ETFs. I'll do that. That looks sloppy. Let's undo that. Try to make it a little bit more neat. So this is the one that PayPal is in. And this is the one that IBM is in. All right. So we talked about that. So we're going to look at how some of the top companies in each of those funds are performing. Okay. So this is going to go more into the research that we're doing. So first, we're going to look at XLK. I want to look at the loser first. If you watch the weekly recap, you already know. So right up here, matter of fact, I had said some of these things I have, you won't have. So let me show you how to make what I have. I'm going to show you real quick because I don't want to cheat you. I don't want to cheat you. So we go up here to market. No, we go to scan. We go up here to scan. We go under the scan tab and we make sure we're on the stock hacker sub tab. I'm going to go ahead and reset this and we'll build this scan from scratch. Okay, so that's what I did. This is how we're going to create a watch list that automatically updates, that pulls all of the companies in the S&P 500 that are in a specific sector. Okay, so the first thing we do is go right up here to where it says scan in all stocks. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is go down to where it says public R through W. Take me off the screen. Public R through W and go right here to where it says S&P 500. So now what this does, it's going to pull whatever we want just from the S&P 500 index. If it's outside that index, it's not going to pull it. That's what that part of the filter does. We're not going to use any of these other ones, so I'm just going to X these out. All right, so that's gone. I'm going to make this simple as possible. So right up here where it says intersect with, that's where we're going to tell it, look inside the S&P 500 and just give me the companies that's inside this in particular sector. So we go right here, go down to where it says by industry. Let's say we want information technology. Go right here where it says by industry. Then we go to the actual sector we want. Go to information technology and then just select all information technology. So we select that. Boom. All right, put me back on the screen. Notice nothing popped up yet. That's because we didn't hit scan. Now, this is what I want you to know that's important. If we click scan, you see right here where it says showing 50 of 75. This is telling us that it's 75 companies inside the S&P 500 that are in the information technology sector. What we're going to do, we're going to create a query scan. What this does is going to automatically update this watch list anytime these companies change, because sometimes companies get removed or added to the S&P 500 index. Okay, so we go up here to this section right here. It's next to add condition group, and then you can click save scan query. Here's the thing, okay? If you put show 10, for example, and I click scan, it's only going to show 10 companies. You see that? Now, if we change the order, right now we have it in ascending order. So it's bringing in the top 10 results in alphabetical order. If we change the market cap, wait a minute. Yeah, it's doing it in alphabetical order no matter how I have these columns set up, because I have this set to symbol. So you put it in ascending order by symbol, it's just doing it in alphabetical order. So if I put descending, it's going to start from the bottom of the alphabet. You see that? Okay, here's what I want you to pay attention to. That's just the other way to do the scan. If you only put show 10, it's going to only show you 10, even when you do the query. You don't want a limit on it. Then let me show you what I mean by that. We know that it's a total of 75 companies. So if we did what I said, ascending, and we got it based off symbol, and I click scan, it's only going to show the top 10 companies in alphabetical order, and it's only going to show 10 because I have 10 in that query. We already click scan. I go right here to where I said you click save scan query. So now I put in test A10, just so we know what it looks like. And I click save. Okay, now when I go over to Market Watch, I can pull up that watch list. So it's going to be impersonal. Right down here at the bottom, take me off the screen so you can see it. Text A10. Guys, it's only showing 10 companies. We know that it's 10 out of 75. So I ran into this problem before. That's why I'm sharing it with you. You have to make sure that you have that number set to however many companies you want to show up in your query. Okay, that's important. So because it was 75, companies inside the S&P 500 index in that industry that we wanted, we have to make sure that we show more than 50. It was on 50. Let me reset this so you can see it. We reset it, it defaults to 50. So if we had created the scan query with that only showing 50, it would have cut off some of those companies. All right. So let's do this again. All stocks. Let me take me off the screen so you can see everything. All stocks, public R through W. We go to S&P 500. Bam. We don't need those. Close that out. Now we go to intersect with. We wanted to get the information technology sector. We want select all information technology. Then we click scan. It's showing 50 of 75. We're going to change this to 100. We can just type in a number, 100, because it's not in the drop down. Bam. Now, when we do the query, which is this second one, not the first one, we click save scan query and then we name it. So it was top. It might not let me do it. Test. Let's just give it any name. Test weekly. Test weekly. That's good. It just need a name. Save. All right. Now, when we go over to Market Watch, test A10, go to personal, test weekly right here. Select that. And now you see it's showing way more than 10 because it's showing you the full list. And this will automatically update, guys. So that's how you do it. That's how you would create the watch list that I have. So if you didn't know how to do it, that's how you do it. Now let me delete these because I don't need them. Where do I do that at? I believe it's over here. Delete. Right. So I want to delete these because they were just tests. So test weekly, I want to delete that. And I want to delete the test A10. Keep my stuff neat. All right. Now we're going to go back to, now here are the ones I created. So here's my information technology. So when I go there, I got to wait for everything to load. My scripts are loading up. Okay, so what I'm looking for, guys, this was where IBM was the biggest loser. So I want to look to see what the largest market cap company. So I'm going to change this to ascending order, where the largest market cap is at the top, and then it works its way down to the least. So now that I've done that, and I can unselect this, unmark that. Go to charts, just type anything in. Matter of fact, this should be on Pro Market closed. Then we go back to the Market Watch. So now we have the top largest market caps in the XLK, the Information Technology ETF by State Street. So with us looking at those, these are the most heavily weighted companies right here at the top based on their market cap. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to show you that real quick. We go over to the Analyze tab, and right here where it says SPY, I'm waiting for it to load. We're going to type in XLK. And what this does is going to show you, take me off the screen. Right here in this area, it's going to tell us the top weighted companies. You see right here where it says weighting. So NVIDIA is 14.08% of that ETF. And Apple, they have that number next to it, and you go show more. It tells you how much each company is weighting inside that index. They're based off their market cap size, guys. That's why I just put the list in the market cap order from largest to smallest. So looking at what's going on with the money based off the largest cap market stocks, we can see, put me back on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's the top 10. Let's go down to Palantir. So we got 12. So the top largest and heavy weighted companies inside the XLF ETF in the information technology sector, the majority of those are down on the week. You notice that? So out of 12, only 3 of them are green on the week. And look how big they're down. You got 7.29%. I told you that 5% down in a week was big. You got 7.29% on Broadcom. You got 13.31% on Micron, 11.14% on AMD, 13.47% on Intel. These are the largest market caps. So this is telling us that money is moving out in the information technology sector. not just in IBM, but we use IBM as a clue. Now, it doesn't work out this way all the time, but this is an example of how we can do extra research to follow the money, to find out where the money is going. Now, is it a fluke? No, it's not a fluke. How do I know that? Because the month is red too. It's not just the week that's red. It would be different if it was just a week. The month is red now. So remember, I told you, it starts from the week and work its way towards the month, the 3 month, and the 6 month. So over time, you'll see the 6 month gain become smaller as you have more losses come in on the week and the month, and losses come in on the 3 months. Okay. So that's what we're looking at. So I'm seeing weakness in the information technology sector based off data. This ain't the news. We're looking at data. All right. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to look at the financial sector. Personal, take me off the screen, go right here to financials. So this is the S&P 500 financials. Make sure the largest market cap is at the top. Go over here to analyze, and we're going to put in XLF. XLF tells us the top weighted companies again. So we can see that JP Morgan is the number one. It's the heaviest weighted. Let me space this out. You can move these columns and adjust them so you can be able to see it. So you got JP Morgan Chase, Berkshire Hathaway, Visa, MasterCard, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, et cetera, et cetera. Now, when we go back to Market Watch, we should see that same order based off market cap. For some reason, JP Morgan isn't number one. Let's do that again. Yeah, for some reason, they don't have that as number one. Is it because their market caps have changed over the weekend? I don't know. But we see what the weights are. Something needs to be updated, guys. I don't know which one it is. I would have to do research to find out what it is. But for the most part, those top companies we seen, they're going to be in that order. We see that the first one is off. But you see Visa, MasterCard, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. We can see them coming up as the largest market cap right there in order. All right, now, let's look at theirs. You notice a difference at the top weighted? I'm seeing way more green on the week and on the month than on the other one. And some of them are green all the way across. And you see how it's increasing slowly, like it's a gradual increase. The 6 months is up 16.75%. 3 month is up 14.5%. 1 month is up 7.79%. This 1 month is half of the gain of the 3 month. And then they up 2.68% on the week, and that is Bank of America. So we're seeing how the money is flowing in. Look at PayPal. Now let's go down here and look at how crazy this is. Look at PayPal. So PayPal gained 22% just this week. So that pushed it up to 29.58% on the month. So if the month is more than what we saw on the week, that means that those other weeks that's included in that month, it helped make up the difference. So you got like 7% gains from those other 3 weeks inside that month, because you got 22% or 23% just in this 1 week. And then that gain pushed the 3 month up to 13.55%. They still down on the 6 months. So this means that they were losing money 6 months ago and 3 months ago. But this week was so green, it ended up pushing all of it up. So based on the data, I'm seeing it looks like money is flowing into the financial sector. Based on the data, it looked like money's flowing out of the information technology sector. And that's what we looked at as far as finding clues, guys. All right, so we broke that down. Now let's go here. I want to talk about this. Right, upcoming earnings. Finally, guys, we got through it because I'm hungry. I want to eat my pizza. We almost done with the show. So finally, let's go over to the Think or Swim calendar to check out. Let's check for companies that have earnings coming up this week. These companies should be experiencing high implied volatility because they're expecting moves due to their earnings events. All right. So let's look and see what big names we can find. Pull the charts back up. We got the light there. Yep. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to go right here to the Market Watch tab, which we're already on. And then we're going to go to the calendar sub tab. Okay. Now, we need to pull up, or what we're going to do, we're going to pull up the S&P 500 index. And what that's going to do, we need to make sure this date right here, it says July 2026. So if we change this, we'll be looking at the wrong month. We want to see the earnings that's coming up for this week. So that's going to be right here in this box. So this is going to be Monday through Friday, the 20th to the 24th. So what we're going to do, we already have the right month selected. We go up here to the cog, that's settings, and we go right down here to where it says public RW. This takes us right to a watch list. So we can put any watch list we want in here, but we're going to put the S&P 500. Once we do that, it loads up all of the earnings we have coming up for this week. If we wanted to break it down to make it more simple, and let me uncheck some of these boxes. I don't want market drive select, and I don't want conference call. I just want earnings. So that filters out some of the noise. The other way for us to filter out some of this noise is to break it down. Remember how I have those watch lists where it break it down into in particular sectors? So let's say I just wanted to focus on upcoming earnings that were in the financial sector. Okay. And if you select a day, let me show you something. I'm talking fast. You see how right here, you only have one earnings emblem there, but it says times 44. They couldn't put all of them in there. So you have 44 companies announcing earnings on the 28th. You got 55 on the 29th. You got 52 on the 30th. Guys, it's going to be a lot of companies coming up that's announcing earnings. So I'm showing you how I would filter this down. So let's say I only wanted to focus on companies that were in the financial sector because I think that sector is bullish. What I would do, I would go up here to the call, and instead of just filtering it out to the S&P 500, I would filter it down to financials. You see how that list became way more condensed? So now I know on Monday, look at me talking about Wednesday, take me off the screen. On Monday, 7/20/26, WRB, let's say I don't know what the heck that ticker is. If I left click on it, that's the wrong one, you right click on it. It tells us the symbol, the company name, the earnings, the date, the time, everything. And we can create an alert. So the way you get this box to pop up is that you left click on the actual row. All right. So now we go to Tuesday. I'm not interested in that company, right? So now I go to Tuesday. When I go to Tuesday, we got a new list. Let's say I want to adjust the order of this. I want the company symbol first. Then I want what quarter they're announcing. So they're doing second quarter. When is it? Is it before market? Is it after market? You can adjust these rows however you want. That's how I want mine. So I look to see what the company, I don't know that company. I'm not interested. I go to this one, COF. Okay, so that's Capital One. So I'm interested in that one, right? So I want to create a watch list to look at this for the week. So we can put add Capital One. Let me make sure I'm saying it right. Right. Capital One Financial Corporation to a watch list. Notice it doesn't allow you to create one. You have to add it to one you already have. So how do we do that if we're starting one from scratch? I'm glad you asked. We go up here to quotes. We go up here to reset, click yes. No, I didn't do it. Just go to create watch list, guys, and start a new one. So let's put earnings. Earnings. Then we put that symbol in, COF. We already know what it is, so we got a company to start with, and click save. Let me see if it'll allow you to save it if you don't have a company in there. Save. It does. So we didn't even have to, we could already name it. So we name it over here. Then we go back to calendar and then we go here. Now I'm right clicking. I'm right clicking on it. And now I click add to watch list and go down to the one that says earnings. And that's it. Now we go back to quotes and there it is. So I would go through the earnings calendar and look at different companies and see what I'm interested in. No, I ain't interested in that. I'm not interested in that. What's this one? MSCI, I'm not interested in that. Charles Schwab, okay, I'm interested in that. Then I go add to watch list, go to earnings, bam. Go to the next one. CM Media, I don't recognize those tickers. I recognize this one as H-Band. Huntington Bank Shares Incorporated, I want to watch that one. Add to earnings. Now when we go over the watch list, we go over to quotes. There it is. Put my column set up, pull my column set up. Money tracker, bam. So that's it, guys. That is it. Now remember, I told you this is gonna get better. I'm working out the weekly recap live, but I like what we did tonight. I appreciate my brother for tuning in and showing some love and some support and putting them comments in the chat, because they help the channel out a lot. But I think we did great tonight, getting the first format down. My flow will pick up as I start to memorize what we got going on and all that other good stuff. So let's talk about it. All right, guys, that about wraps it up. Let me show you what companies we are covering this week. Yeah, let's do that. That'd be fun. That'd be easy and fun. Let's do that. So we go to YouTube, blow that up. And after we go there, we go to the channel. Whew. All right, blow this up. Where we at? 150. Cool. All right, now this is what we got coming up this week. Bam. All right, guys. Yeah, we live. That's what that is right there. So on Monday, we're covering Google. Tuesday, we're covering General Motors, GM. Wednesday, we are covering Tesla. Thursday, we are covering Intel. And Friday, we are covering Verizon. Okay? We are covering Verizon. This kind of threw me off when I looked at this before. 21st, 22, 24, 26. Oh, you know what's wrong right here, guys? I got the wrong thumbnail here. That's why that was throwing me off. Let me update this thumbnail right now. Let me update that thumbnail. Wait a minute, because I don't know what might pop up. I need to keep some of this stuff private. Give me a second. I need to update that thumbnail. I was wondering, I'm like, I'm not covering that company on that day. I got the wrong doggone thumbnail there. Give me a second. Studio. All right, studio content. Live. Okay, upcoming buys and sales. There we go. And then I'll bring this back over so you can see it. I was so confused. Changed. Downloads, buys and sales. There it is. Save. And go back to the home page. All right, guys. There we go. Now, I updated it, but it might take a minute for the system to update it, because it's still showing GE, but it's definitely updated. It's definitely updated. All right. So that's what we got. That's what we're covering. I'm going to show you one more time. We're covering Google on Monday. We're covering General Motors on Tuesday, Tesla on Wednesday, Intel on Thursday, and Verizon on Friday. The dates are there. Click there to get notified. And that thumbnail is wrong. I updated it, but the system has not fixed it yet. Let me refresh it and see if it did it yet. Nah, it's still showing GE. But guys, it's going to have the same thumbnail that we had for tonight. It's going to say buys and sell. Buys and sales. All right. Let's wrap the show up. Let's wrap the show up. All right, you already know. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'll be here same place, same time next week. And make sure you keep tuning in weekdays following our market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Take care and God bless.